Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you. This is Maiyegun live. Let me know if the audio is perfect.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube, gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe àní Maiyegun máa.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share the broadcast. Tell them your Maiyegun is live. And if you have read the caption of the broadcast while you are joining on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, I'm using the Periscope on Twitter now as well. So if you're watching me on Twitter, it's still the same thing. Maiyegun live. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite those who are not really your friends or friendly friends, right? Invite every one of them. The northern Miyeti, they have gone mad again. It was a northern group that first came out that Afenifere should be proscribed as a terrorist organization. And since they make that statement, we have not heard anything from Garbage, Shehu, or even Femi Oponu-Adeshina. Their presidency and everybody in that department, yes, they are bringing it on gradually. Tell them, Maiyegun is live. So the news came out today that the Miyeti Allah from northern Nigeria came out and they said the travail, the expose of Kyari, Abba the tailor, is being sponsored by the Southerners, and they pointedly accuse the Southern leaders. Hello, you see, everything against the criminals from northern Nigeria is considered as an attack on northern Nigeria. How are you not paying attention? We know why FBI is looking for Abba Kyari. There is nobody who set Abba Kyari up. Abba Kyari is a criminal that a failed system popped up, celebrated. And when the time comes, all the charade comes to an end. And I brought scratch, Alton scratch, which makes them now turn around to want to blame the Southerners. I am actually so surprised that they didn't blame IPOB. They didn't blame the Igbos, because usually they are the easy targets whenever this Eroncos, whenever they look down south, to blame anybody for their unfortunate misgovernance. Now, we are the butt of their attacks now, the Yorubas. First, they called on Bokwari to help them proscribe Afenifere for standing up with Yoruba Nation campaigners. Now, Abba Kyari that worked with Hushpuppi. Now, the whole conversation you saw in that FBI report, all those reports that you saw, they are just like tip of the iceberg. They have not really, they have not really opened up their investigation. What they presented to court is that court, with the evidence we have and the people we have arrested and those we are still going to arrest, You see this Ogbologbo criminal called Abba the Tailor. We need him as well in our court. He needs to go to jail because the report we have on him, by the time we unleash it, it will be a total damage on Nigeria for Nigeria to hold him and not let him be extradited. Guess what? Chibuzo Vincent, the one that Abba the Tailor collected $16,000 from Hushpuppi to arrest until he nearly died before they finally released him. What they didn't tell you is that they also collected millions of naira from the families of Vincent Chibuzo. Now, Vincent Chibuzo, just Vincent Chibuzo Vincent is also going to America. So FBI are in Nigeria now to take two people who defrauded 1.9 million people, right? Who worked with Abba the Tailor. So now that you have seen the Buhari idiots, the Sai barbarians jumping up and down, crying like Egbere, trying to find all the reasons to make sure that whatever FBI just the tip they told them about what Abba the Tailor did, that tip, they are now bringing up stories of how Abba the Tailor arrested this kidnapper, arrested that kidnapper, and they killed this one and killed that one. They are trying to make you forget the fact that those people he arrested, none of them has been convicted of any of the crime because Abba the Tailor, the moment he picked them up, he takes over their properties. He sells the ones he wants to sell off. He owns the ones he wants to keep for himself. And he just let them languish in the prison there while he has taken pictures, photos. When he goes on to go and arrest kidnappers, he will go with a cameraman, video, everybody to, who goes to arrest kidnappers and they are taking pictures, posting and all of that. So we found out that it was actually all arranged all along. Those they claim he arrested, right? Many of them have never been convicted because there's no evidence. Abba the Tailor collected his glory, social media glory, collected the award. Most of those who gave him those awards that they called him Super Cup. Ife Cup. Those who are giving him those fake awards on social media, many of them are going to disappear too very soon. Because you know what? We have found out that Abba the Tailor, Abba Kyari the Tailor, Abba, has been working with criminals all along. So the only way he gets to pick up on any of the criminals is displayed to all of you is because other criminals gave them up. Now, Hushpuppi exposed it to, no be me, Hushpuppi. Because according to the FBI record, Hushpuppi was trying to defraud somebody who wanted to build a school in Qatar. That person wanted to build a school and he needed a sort of a grant. He then applied for a grant at an international education grant foundation. So, Hushpuppi and his gang, they created a fake website that looked exactly like the original one. So that guy in Qatar, when he messaged the foundation, that was when Hushpuppi and gang grabbed him. And within a small time, they've collected almost $1 million from him, trying to process the loan for him. Then at some point, they said the money from what they collected from that guy, the money given to Chibuzo, was so small that Chibuzo decided to expose and divert the job to himself by telling the person in Qatar that Hushpuppi is fake, that he shouldn't give him any money anymore. He's a fake, blah 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 blah. That means he wants to destroy the job. That was where your Abba the Tailor came in. I don't know where the Southerners got involved in this. So that's how Abba the Tailor came in. They called Abba and said, Abba, Vincent is in Lagos. and he's about to spoil a job for me. Oh. That job supposed to pay me 500,000. But Vincent, don't divert him. I want you to use your police IG IRT team to arrest him. So Abba now jumped up, picked up Vincent so that they can put him away. No law, no nothing, no, put him away. So that Hushpuppi can face the MAGA and finish the job. That was when Abba the tailor collected the first payment, $16,000, 8 million naira. No be Ankara money he collected. Some of you, the Buhari mumus, the mumu madus, the Bele lecturers, the mumu lecturers, the Buhari idiots, the cyberbarians. It is not Ankara money. He was involved because he knows that the MAGA will pay 500,000. And Chibuzo was going to spoil business. Abba Kyari, who arrested Evans, the report we have is that the other kidnappers who gave Evans up. And when Abba Kyari approached Evans, he demanded for 1 billion naira because of the report he has on Evans. And Evans was unable to give him 1 billion. That was when he moved in. And he picked up. Nobody knew Evans. Nobody knew anything. Nobody, until he picked him up. Because those other kidnappers who are doing their own kidnapping, but Evans be like an advanced one, where they make real money. Like those guys who they now call bandits in Zamfara, bandits in Yobe, bandits in Niger, bandits in Katsina, bandits in Sokoto, bandits everywhere, kidnapping people for ransom, collecting 800 million, collecting 500 million. Nobody knew Evans. Until Kyari came up and said, I have picked up Evans because he kidnapped one rich guy in Lagos and he kept him in this social house. Who gave him the information? Other kidnappers. That's what we found out. And immediately he grabbed Evans. He started taking Evans' property. As you are watching this video right now, one of the reasons why Evans' case is still unfinished, despite all the evidence, so they said Abba the tailor found on Evans the kidnapper. For all these years, they are unable to convict him because most of his properties, his money, they have been stolen already. As you are watching this video, the only people who emptied Evans' account, they are the Abba Kyari and boys. That was exact role he's been playing. That was exact role that the FBI found out about him. FBI found out that he didn't just do a one-off job for Hushpuppi. He is actually a regular caller for other criminals in Nigeria. That is why they said the evidence we have, this guy must be picked up. Are you following? That's the truth. Oh, there is nobody from the south who told Abba the tailor. Then they said those who are after Abba Kyari, they are after Abba Kyari because he's a Muslim. That is another lie. Let me tell you this. Everybody involved, every one of them is Muslim. Rahman, which is, if we call him Ramon, that's his name. Ramon is Hushpuppi's name. Ramon in Islam is Abdurrahman. Okay? Is the Muslim. Hush the tailor, Abba, is a Muslim. So, which simply means there is no one, and it was Hushpuppi that met and did that job, dirty job. For Hushpuppi, there was no one there who said, oh, it was because he's a Muslim. That is why we are like, So if it's Muslim versus Muslim, then you can say nobody from the south is involved. But that won't sell. They need to appeal to their base. They need to make their base believe that, yeah, it is these people. Look at how they are rejoicing. But I'm not here to actually break your heart. I've told you that it will be a great thing for them not to let him go with the FBI. You see that suspension? That one is just trying to act to a script. Okay? So when they said it was because of he's a Muslim, that's why they want to remove him. Now they've replaced him with Disu. They've replaced him with Disu. Now, Disu himself, or Disu, which is Yoruba style of calling Idrisu or Idris, right? That's Disu. Disu is also a Muslim. So when you see this madman with this smoke a gum, Akinola, what is that? Is mad group in Yoruba land trying to steer the water of religious division, and saying so in backing his friends, the terrorist Miyetti Allah and co, in trying to turn everything. When you speak up against these criminals, they turn it into the North versus the South, or the Muslim versus the Christian. You shouldn't fall for that anyway. None of us will fall for that. That's the latest too. They said, now we in the South, we are the ones sponsoring FBI. Murik. Thank you very much, Jerry. Daniel, Komolafe. Mumurik Akinola came out and he said, and everything about him is about Muslim versus Christian, this and that Christian, this and that. If you talk about the Fulani terrorists, he's going to tell you that it's because you are against the Islam, you are against this. He doesn't care about who killed or what is destroyed in Yoruba land. But we need to tell our people that nobody should continue to use your own religion, your faith, to blackmail you into accepting all the wrongs that those who are criminals hiding behind their faith, whatever they propagate. That's exactly what those Miyetti criminals represent. That's what those northern whatever group represent. That's why they could put a bounty on somebody who is asking that, listen, this is Nigeria, right? There is so much injustice, there's so much inequality, there's so much unfairness in the system. Everybody can, even the fear of the injustice is the reason why the Fulani oligarch who took over power in Nigeria, that's the reason why they are so scared now to even plan on succession, on how who they are going to hand over to, who is going to succeed them, because they believe that if the power should return to the South, right, the same inequality, the same unfairness, the same thing they meted on the rest of the country is exactly what the South are likely going to, met on them. So the fear of the injustice that everyone is so afraid to discuss is what prompted Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafrans to demand for a conversation to begin the process of a living Nigeria. That is the gentleman way of resolving any issue, disagreement, or any difference or any differences. Gentlemanly way. No violence, not guns, not killings, kidnappings, burning, arson, and the rest. But the same criminals who house criminals who are ready to pay, who are actually paying terrorists in the name of bandits, rehabilitating them, paying them off because they call them the repentant terrorists. The same animals are those who are putting bounty on those who said, let us discuss, we want to leave. Give us a referendum, let's discuss it. No fight, no nothing. So that everybody can develop according to their pace. That was what our own forebearers signed up for. We can go back to that, where nobody controls no one. You take care of yourself. We will take care of ourselves. And Miyetti Allah or no Miyetti Aaron or Miyetti Ma, whatever they are, they will dare not make a statement about how we decide to rule ourselves in the South. That is a conversation that can be had. It's not something that should cause a war, but they have declared war. And every statement they make, they criminalize the position of the Southern Nigeria and the people of Southern Nigeria. And here we are. They are so bold about it. Yet, the same Southerners who are supposed to have leaders, and their leaders are pretty much like speaking in hushed tones and all of that, something they can say and stand by and stand firm and say, yes, we said it and we're going to do it. That's the irony of it all. Now they are now being blamed for somebody who collected millions and millions of naira from Hushpuppi. Somebody who went to Dubai paid for by Hushpuppi. Somebody who went to Dubai being chauffeured around by a private driver in a limousine in a Gucci bag, Gucci this, Gucci that. Somebody who said he's just a tailor to Hushpuppi or spent millions of. Now, that person is not from the South. That person was never appointed by the South. The power the person wielded and all the abuses that came with it were never given to him by anybody from the South. It was given to him by those who said it was the best for the job. Here we are. Stories are popping up. His crimes are popping up. But they don't want us to talk about it. Rather, they want to blame you, blame me, and at the same time, continue to suspect us because they don't really trust us. Now, who is going to send him back? It's not going to be the courts. I just want you to know that tonight, okay? According to the extradition arrangement between the UK and Nigeria, between the United States of America and Nigeria, gives the, and in the law of extradition in Nigeria, gives the power to extradite any Nigerian citizen. That power is given solely to the Attorney General of Nigeria. You can go to court to challenge his decision, right? And a court can just advise on that decision. But according to their law in Nigeria, not even the president, the person that will sign that somebody should be taken out is Malamu, Abubakar Malamu, the man that paid for the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, right? The same man who never ever know anything about the rule of law, never believe in the law, that they gave him a senior advocate of nonsense for son, yeah? That same guy is the guy that would this. And if you ask me, what do you think he's going to do? What do you think he's going to do? So you can just, whatever your imagination is, right, is as good as possibly as mine. Yeah? Now, but that would be a good thing. Okay? Kyari continue to pretend to be fighting corruption. Meanwhile, in the same Kyari's government, in 6 years, I can give you accounts of those looted funds and the looters, whatever ones that comes to my mind, anyone that I can remember. Just to let you know that the world knows that he is a pretender. The world now knows that Kyari's government is a terrorist government. The whole world is worried. Let me be honest to you, right? The whole world is worried of what will become of Nigeria if the old, what do you call it, this hemorrhaging of Nigeria continues unstopped. They are worried of what will become of Nigeria. The refugees are piling up. And when the refugees from 205 million people, country of 205 million people, are split up and burst out, yeah, even Europe will feel it. Even America, as far as America is, people they will find their way to their shore. All the entire Europe will fill up. 205 million people, they are worried. So they know the kind of government you have in Nigeria. All right? At the same time, they are waiting for what you and I have to do when the shove comes to push, or na push comes to shove, whatever it is, yeah? They know. But you see, this Kyari Taylor issue is going to put the nail on their diplomatic coffin. And this time around, it will be easier for the American, their lobbyists they are paying in America to find that they have actually gotten a tougher job to defend Nigeria in America. This is what will happen. There will be more sanctions, more and more of it. Poverty that they've brought upon Nigeria will escalate. More crimes will escalate. And at the end of the day, it will be easier to pick on the individual criminals who contributed to what will come or what is still to come, and to pick them up and get them all sent into the life in Gulag will be easier. Now, they are the ones that will put the rope on their own neck now. That's why I said, if they don't release Abba Kyari to FBI, if Malamu fail to sign that extradition in the next few days, Noah Allah. Let them do that to appeal to their base. And that is the base of the Buhari idiots. Those who are living pretenders, those living in denial, those who are, we call the suffering and smiling humbled slaves, those who believe that their reward is in heaven, even if they suffer here. Now, because Bukwari told them they will enjoy it in heaven, no matter what it is. You know, what is it? Why will you be eating rice? You know, why should you be eating? Why can't you just drink gari? They said a bag of rice is now 30,000 naira. An average Buhari deal to ask you, must you eat rice? They say, oh boy, hey, see bag of semo, 5 kg, don't become 2,000 naira. Oh. They say, must you eat semo? Can't you just do lebu and then drink gari and all of that? The poverty mentality that they told them, why the criminals who told them that they needed to suffer so that they can enjoy, the criminals who told them that are looting left, right, and center, left, front, back, and center. In 6 years, you know the person called Babashir Lawal, that one alone stole over 5 billion naira. The money is not just a free money. The money is meant to be, I mean, they were supposed to use that money to rebuild northeast of Nigeria, including Borno and all those places, destroyed by Boko Haram when they came in 2015. He stole all the money. And among the money he stole, right, he awarded a contract to cut grass around the IDP camp, refugee camp, right, with 242 million naira. Why those people who ran away from their homes, their villages, those who survived the terror attack of Boko Haram, living in those refugee camps, they are begging for food on the street. Under this Boko Haram's government, when they came in, they said they met nothing, right? The same Boko Haram who when they came in, he ordered that they should open the silo in the north. You remember when this guy, who is now the president of the African Development Bank, what's that guy's name again? Adesina, Adesina, is now the president of African Development Bank. That guy was the Minister of Agriculture under Jonathan. And they reported then that, the growth of food, what have you then? They built a silo that Bukwari was able to order his own Babashir Lawal and Audu Ogbe to go to the silo and take over 245 truck of grains. When I say grains, we're talking about rice, millet, soya bean, and all of those grains that comes, right? 45 trucks. You saw those 16 trailer trucks. 245. Now, when these trucks left the silo and are en route to all the states that should take delivery of them, all the states with refugees, all the states with victims of Boko Haram, right? As the trucks were en route, right, en route to those states, Baba, 170 of that got lost. Now only 75 got to destination. That 75 that got to destination were never delivered to the state government that those states, that the state they sent them to. They were shared for APC membership, all this APC Egbe campaign, all this stuff. They were sharing the food as change food to their own APC members. While the refugees, the victims of Boko Haram, they were languishing. The story is online. Go there, videos, articles, details, reports. 5 billion naira and 245 trucks of grains gone. Now, Aisha Buhari even exposed that, by the way. Go online. The person in charge of that, they were supposed to rebuild houses, they were supposed to build schools, all the places destroyed by Boko Haram. They were also supposed to, give money back to the victims so that they can start their lives again. Boko Haram awarded billions of naira for that. They stole everything. To cover up, Babashir Lawal collaborated with the Nigeria Air Force, right? And they decided to go and bomb Ran in Borno. They bombed the place 3 times. The same place that has been refugee camp for more than 2 years before these criminals came to power. To cover up the looting, they bombed the place 3 times. The people who ran away from Boko Haram, they got bombed by Nigeria. And they said it was a mistake. It was a false alarm. False alarm first time, false alarm second time, false alarm third time, until they destroyed the entire place, including those who went there to support the refugees. That story is online. Go and read it. That's part of the corruption of these criminals. Their corruption affects the poor people that they claim to represent. These criminals, but in 2019, after they promised and failed about creating jobs, about giving you unemployment allowance before you get job, after promising you that you get free education to university level, after promising you that they will feed your children 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day, after promising you then that they will ensure that all the looted fund will be returned back to you. After all those promises and fail, when they found out that over 20 million people have lost their jobs in 4 years, they brought about a scheme, a fraud. That was where Ikene Shatabandu, special advisor to Bokwari on burial arrangement and condolences matter, fake Pastor Ruga, Agbowori Babaoja. That's how he came out with an economic plan to lift 10 million people out of poverty. What was the economic plan? To start giving people 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira, which is 10 pounds or 15 pounds. So that they will give 10,000 to people to start businesses. Remember, they have already promoted poverty to the level that even when people are eating good food in Bokwari's Nigeria, they will be asking themselves, oh boy, should people no go they suspect me now? Say I they enjoy. That's how bad it has become, that people then agreed that you may think you are okay. That's the poverty mentality. They said, you may think you are okay. You don't know what 10,000 can change in the life of a person. That money can turn to 100,000 to 1 million, blah, 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 blah. If you work hard for it, that's the poverty mentality that the economy of Bokwari that we called Buharinomics. And the chairman of the Buharinomics is Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga, which later became the Agbowori Babaoja. 10,000 naira, and they have a name for it. Trader money. Then they have another one, they brought out another scheme, another lie. They called it N-Power. And the N-Power is to train people how to make soap, how to repair phone, how to fix shoe, how to do this and that. So what should have been the what they call the basic what's it they call a quick skill acquisition program, basic skill acquisition program, right? So they brought it as a national plan. N-Power. We are going to employ millions of the youth. We're going to train them for 3 months. They are going to collect 30,000 naira every month for 3 months. So when they now get trained, they can just go and start their businesses. Another Buharinomics. People started joining. Hey, I don't join Empower. In fact, it was a recruitment exercise towards 2019 then. Even those who have suffered, those Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, all these Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, all this, can I have a quick 2K? Can I have an urgent 2K? All these guys who, after battering them with poverty, battering them with everything, all promises failed. They brought out Empower, and they started feeling like, that's the change I voted for. That's the Bokwari I voted for. Before you know it, many of them started grabbing their voters card again. I'm going to vote for this change. Next level. They were going to next level, but they couldn't see. 3 months after, or 6 months after, some of them started, after the election, they started paying them. They said, we'll recruit you. They recruited 500,000 online. The first day they opened their portal for people to apply, 45 million people applied. That means to show them the picture of those who had no job in Nigeria, 45 million applied within 24 hours. So when they now release name, they release name of 350,000. First batch. No, 250,000 first batch. They are going to release another 250,000 so that people who applied will be open so that they can go and vote. Some of them became campaigners again. Let us give the government chance. 16 years of PDP. They destroyed this country. We need to give them blah, 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 blah. Or a courtesy of fake Pastor Ruga. That's how that worked, though. And last, when they came out to say, how much you now spend for trader money, Empower? They said, Bokwari's government has managed to lift almost 10 million people out of poverty with trader money, market money, and end power. And because of that, we have spent more than 1.2 trillion. Hey! 1.2 trillion. Oh boy, that's so we see them. But they don't stop there. Within 3 months, when they came back again in 2019, rigged themselves back in, they removed shock from Pastor Ruga's chair. And so Pastor Ruga entered demorage again. And nobody to hear from him again. And Bokwari appointed his girlfriend when he was still able to see well. And understand when he was able to understand those who were around him. He appointed Shadia and created a ministry for her. And they called the Ministry of Humanitarian Appointment. They mean humanitarian, so they will just be humanity to give you help and all of that. So they now took all the trader money, market money, blah, blah, blah money, all the scheme that, Pastor Ruga put up. They put them under Shadia. So then came coronavirus. Shadia, from nowhere, Shadia said she's sharing 20,000 naira. And within just 2 days, Shadia came out and she said she has shared over 500 billion naira to 11.2 million household. Hey, this one heavy, 500 billion. How you share the money? Then they started showing picture. People collecting 20,000 in Imo State. People collecting 20,000 in Abuja. People collecting 20,000 in Sokoto. They also show people collecting 20,000 in Zamfara. Oh boy, 500,000 don't go. Hey! Under this criminal government. Under this criminal government, they told us that dear Zani returned $90 billion. There are some Mumumadus, Bele lecturers, the Buhari Dins and the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus and some of the Buhari Dijatus, including the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unnekaris, the obedient fools, sophisticated morons, ombuds slaves, the Facebook bandits, social media adsmen. They came, they said, thank you, Bokwari. Dear Zani has returned $90 billion. They say, hey, where she keep her? Educated people, supposedly educated people. They were going on TV talking about dear Zani returning billions. I say, hey, boy, 90 billion. Which bank keep the money? Where was Genje? So last, they found money in Sokewe. They found money inside burial ground. They found money inside somebody's house account. They found money inside the roof. They found money in here. You just found money here and there. Last. Now the person where they found the money come become the haunted. Though. You remember the Maguluta crook? Yeah, Maguluta crook. That was the guy finding everything. We didn't know that, like Abba Kyari. Maguluta crook. Whenever he goes after those he said he's collecting money from, Baba, they collect percentage and he gets middleman. Where they also sell the property for him. That one, they fly private jet and he's covered by diplomatic cover. They say Magu come. They drag him by his by his head. Come here. To sacrifice him, they said, we heard that we told you that you should be working on a Tifnumbu. Tifnumbu is doing everything to take over, and we can't let that happen. It's not possible. Your job is to go after Tifnumbu and everybody from that part who can try to pull a surprise inside the APC, Egbekegbe, Al-Qaeda People's Congress. That is your job, not to protect Tifnumbu. And he said, well, you were being promised that Tifnumbu is going to get you confirmed, Abi. That was how Malamu provoke. Say, come here. How much self you say you don't collect? How much have you collected? How much money? Abacha Luto, this one Luto, Dear Zani Luto, all the things you said you sold for, all of the, how much? Come and tell us. That was how Maguluta Crook, somebody like, it was being celebrated same way like this Abba Kyari, bunch of criminals who are using the state cover to hide their own criminal tendencies, and then they can flash every other thing to the camera. And you ask yourself, as much as they are arresting Yahoo, arresting kidnappers, arresting this, arresting that, how come the crime hasn't abate or stop? Because it's all rules, it's all lies. You are just being deceived like this. How much you collected, enough you talk. You get account, they do well, that's enough. They know that they've looted the money. They've shared the money themselves among them. So they knew that. But they wanted him replaced. They want somebody who can do the job they want to do on Tifnumbu. And they kicked him out. Today, if you ask, and just like when, just as they are doing right now to Abba Kyari, as some of these ombuds slaves are doing for Abba Kyari right now on social media, they did the same thing for Maguluta Crook. They started telling us how he recovered, how he arrested, how he jailed. How they say, come on, shut up. In Yoruba land, they say, if you see a thief is a thief, even if he's dressed in a gold loin, even if he's driving a gold-plated Rolls Royce. Baba, a thief, na thief. And as you have it, Nigeria is a crime scene. That's just about Magu. And like I said, I can give you more and more of these criminals that have had their own little diplomatic cover under the Bukwari's pretentious government. So if they refuse, if Malamu fail to sign the extradition paper for Kyari before the end of this week, my brothers and sisters, now good thing. It doesn't really matter. It will help your case, it will help my case, it will help everybody's case against the criminal government in Nigeria, their collaborators, their their sponsor and everything. Just today, we got the news that they have names of 400 people who are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, and the names are with Malamu. They have the names with Malamu, and Malamu has been keeping the names for years now. And people are asking, maybe the names didn't have any Southerner in it, and the name doesn't have any Igbo in it or any Biafran in it. So therefore, the name is not going to be useful, and therefore it's keeping to it. And do you know what that simply means? It is called treason, a crime against your country. That is taking and aiding and abetting crime and keeping evidence of crime. So they've done a lot of crime, they've committed a lot, but we are piling them, we are documenting them. Are you with me? We are documenting them. So if they don't release Abba Kyari, they'll live and there. Live and there. Are you with me? Just leave it there. We received the report from the Oloye Sunday Igboho's lawyer. And from what he told us, you and I can be hopeful. We also received the report that finally, Nnamdi Kanu has met with his lawyers. And in fact, he's been granted the permission to meet with the British embassy in Nigeria that are offering him the consular support. And so many other access that he should be getting legally, and every support he should be getting is getting that, except the fact that the lawyer says he needs a serious medical attention, not with the condition they found him. It's not that they are not taking care of him. It's not because he's in any danger, but they still prefer he gets a third-party, medical opinion about himself. That's part of the demand they are now asking for. Another demand they are asking for is that people must push and ensure that, you see, that October 3rd, they postponed the case to. That is not tenable. We won't wait for that long. Now that they've opened up the line of conversation now, we don't know what the British embassy is going to be offering him. We don't know the terms of their involvement this time. They have been accused of doing doing less or nothing so far. But well, they seems to have breached the door that was shut against them by DSS before now. So now we can get to know more interesting things that are going to happen in the coming days and weeks. Same with Oloye Sunday Igboho's case. I don't have to say much on that. And because if I had too much to it, it would just be speculation. Imagine, or giving you my own, details of my own imagination. And that is not really good for us at this point, okay? The information is that they will apply for his release this week. And also they will apply for his, political asylum in Benin Republic, which will make him free enough to be able to at least walk about. However, this request is expected to be, to be discussed, either approved or denied this week, according to Oloye's, Chief Sunday Igboho's lawyer. That is hopeful. That is something that we can say a ray of hope. What we ask for is that Oloye Sunday Igboho is not a criminal. He's committed no crime. He's done nothing, right? Rather, Nigeria has committed grave crime against him. Innocent people, harmless people, innocent people were killed inside his house. And they attempted to kill him too. Therefore, whatever it is that Benin Republic is bringing up, either, the moment he was in Benin Republic, whatever it is, they should remember somebody who is about to be killed for doing nothing deserves to be protected by any country he ever gets him. He ever enters. That is the international law. That is the convention of the international convention that many of these countries signed up to. So whatever Benin Republic is bringing up, that's why we have to say, well, it deserves to get that protection because we know why he is in Benin Republic. So, which is great. No, now, the people killed inside Oloye Sunday Igboho's house, just for those who just would like to have the image of these people, right? If you look on the left, that is Adogon. And if you look onto your right, let me see if I can bring down the tag on it. So that is Alhaji Fatai. Alhaji Fatai is a businessman. He is into car sale. He's a car salesman, right? On that unfortunate day, the 1st of July, he was, like many other people inside the Oloye Sunday Igboho's house in Ibadan, he was there to discuss his business with Oloye Sunday Igboho, and that is his car business. He was meant to sleep overnight and leave the following morning before the Yoruba Nation team would then move to Lagos. He was meant to leave. He was one of those killed by the, murderous DSS in Nigeria. Look at this guy as well, Adisa Said Adogon, a responsible family man as well, who has his own hotel in Ikorodu. He was also at Oloye Sunday Igboho's house that night, just as one of his right-hand men, just to give him the moral support and what have you, before the Yoruba Nation peaceful rally slated for the 3rd of July, and the attack carried out on the 1st of July. He was even praying. If you look on the right of the screen, you will see an attached image, a bloody image, attached to that image of Alhaji Fatai, right? That is the blood of Adisa Said Adogon. He was praying. They said he was praying like that moment, right? His prayer mat, his praying mat, as well as his Quran was just beside his praying mat. He was praying. He was shot and shot and shot. From the information we gathered, when they said the bullet didn't penetrate, they then smashed his head with a very heavy object. It was when they smashed his head and they decided to drag him off. That was why you have the blood path in that living room. You all saw the video of the attack. These were innocent people, that they were never criminals, not convicted by any court. No crime was, no allegation was made against them. They were not declared wanted. They were not resisting any attack. Even though the attack was an assassination attempt, they didn't fight back. They were murdered. Oloye Sunday Igboho was supposed to be murdered that night as well. And according to them, that would then put an end to the resistance of the Yorubas, asking the Fulani terrorists to vacate our land, to vacate our farms, and stop killing our people, kidnapping or destroying our farms. But he managed to escape from them without fighting back. They went there with two plans: kill him, and if he fights back, then we will redeploy. So we'll send more people, and the entire community will be destroyed, like they are doing to people in Olu as we speak, killing innocent people, burning down properties, and kidnapping young people, and declaring them as ESN members who fought the police or who are trying to carry out an attack after killing many of them, right? Disposing of their bodies, burning down their properties, burning down their businesses, and then arresting them as sponsors of ESN. That was the plan for the people of, Soka, the community where Oloye Sunday Igboho built his house. So if he had responded and fought them back, or in fact, if any of them had been gunned down, those assassins, those killers, if any of them had been killed, then it would have validated their own effort of destroying the entire community, because that's what they do. But he escaped from them without fighting them, and then he managed to get to Benin Republic, living for Germany as advised by those who are closer to him. He is not the leader of Oduduwa Nation or Yoruba Nation campaign. They know the leader of Yoruba Nation campaign. They know that they are as peaceful as they should be. But they know that Sunday Igboho is a big threat to the advancement of the destructive campaign, murderous terrorist campaign of these Fulani terrorists in Yoruba land. They know he's a big threat, and he needed to be eliminated. So they know that he's not the leader of Yoruba Nation campaign. They know that. But when they missed him, they declared him wanted. But they killed innocent people, took their bodies away, arrested the 12 people, innocent people, accused them of crimes, make up crime in order to get them killed. This is where we are. And that's why we say Benin Republic must follow the international law. We believe, somebody told me and he said, Maiyegun, Benin Republic law is different. I want to believe you until I read the story of a young lady who lives in Benin Republic, right? And then she had a problem with one of her neighbor who happened to be a young guy who stole from her. So she decided to go on and arrest him. When they picked up the young boy, took him to their police station. So because the young boy's brother is in fact a police officer in Benin Republic, you know what happened? They changed the case, and then police came back to arrest the lady. And when they arrested her, they accused her of working as a prostitute and also working as a human trafficker by transacting other women in Benin Republic. They built a case against her. They arrested her, took her to their court. Since they speak French there, she was not allowed to get her own lawyer. And within just a week, they sent her to jail to go and be in jail for 10 years. This is a true story. And the lady is still in jail in Benin Republic as you are watching this video right now. In fact, when David Udein did an investigation on that to expose this, right? The Nigerian embassy in Benin Republic got involved. Abike Dabiri got involved. After the lady spent more than a year in prison. So they got involved. And as you are watching this video, this was about 5 months ago. As you are watching this video, they are still unable to get her out of that jail. That's why when people tell me, Benin Republic have rule of law, Benin Republic have their law, and they obey their law. What about cook-up charges? That they can then use their law to convict an innocent person. So that's why I said they should obey the international law. They should respect it. Nigeria is a lawless country. Wherever Buratai the butcher is telling them, is going to drag them into what will still become the fate of Nigeria under this terrorist government as they continue in this destructive journey. People are not asking for too much. They want to stay safe. They want to be safe. They want to be economically viable. They want their children to have a future, something that they are involved in and they can plan. But as Nigeria is arranged, right, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, right, we are sort of led by self-centered, greedy, selfish human beings who have done so well to keep the status quo that they know is unfairly put together and unequally arranged, and therefore it is in an injustice personified if anybody supports the establishment called Nigeria. Then we have our own southern collaborators, people who believe that the status quo should remain as long as it feeds their own, bellies. Selfish, greedy people, that some of them are there now, and it will surprise you that those who want to take over from these guys, they are even worse than the ones who are claiming to represent us from the south. How do we change it? First, we need to pay attention to guys like this. There's a guy I'm going to share with you now. He said a lot. He's a Yoruba man. And sadly, I don't want you to feel too shocked. All right? When I mentioned Buhari idiots, when I mentioned Oshogbo Alimajiris, when I tell you about the Lagos Sabobakus, the Buhari Dens and Buhari Dideris, including even those who live abroad, the Mumu Madus Bele lecturers and the Mumu lecturers, and many of these characters, I give you their names. They are actually people who they are living human beings whose opinions also sort of matters, because they say if you are not careful and you are not careful enough to be very, very careful of foolish people in large numbers, they have the power to elect a president, because in a democracy, it is all about the numbers. Listen to this guy about the state of Nigeria and Oloye Sunday Igboho and what he has as a plan. And character like this, we have some of them who are there now doing exactly what this guy would do. But he's not there yet. And this is what his own plan is.
If you look at the occurrences of the last 2 to 3 weeks, the president has been very firm on his decision on this. Before, he was handling them with kids gov because we are in a democracy. There are a lot of factors that govern in democracy. It's not just about presidency. The other arms of government can checkmate the president from taking a lot of actions. So I think that is what played out. But I'm sure President Muhammadu Buhari is up to the task to take care of the situation. Look at what happened last week in Kaduna State, Zamfara State, and his own state, Katsina State. There was a lot of bombardment, and they were eliminated in hundreds. But you see, his cabinet needs to be well managed. In so far as actions are being taken, there should be a well-managed system of communication with the people. Between federal government and Chief Sunday Igboho is about Constitution of the Federal Republic. I tried to be in the Senate for 12 years. These are things that we had seen whilst working and having appointment with the federal government way back then, and I resigned to come into politics. It's not about prophecy or anything. It is about thoughtfulness and proactiveness. You have to have vision if you want to serve your country. This has been on since we took democracy. People are very apathetical to what is going on in Nigeria. Sunday Igboho is just an example of lost values. Sunday Igboho cannot tell us Yorubas, me for instance, how to move in Nigeria when I love this country so much. How can you tell us that we should destroy Nigeria and become Yoruba nation? For what? When some of us are working so hard to ensure that the unity stands. My best friend is a Fulani man. My best friend. And it's virtue of a federal government college. It doesn't mean that few bad eggs destroys the whole. I love President Muhammadu Buhari. He's a Fulani man. He's my president. I love him like my brother. So why would I want to tell him to go? I will tell him, pat on the back. You are trying. Okay, if you're not doing the best, let us teach you more. We are Nigerians. We support him freely. It is not about him.
Shoni, Ajeni, ẹlẹ́bọ ni amọ́niṣẹ́ níní afàìmọ́niṣẹ́ níní wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀.
Ami. That's how confident foolish people can be. The guy won't be governor. He wanted to be governor for your state. Imagine if he's the governor for your state. It will just be the hopeless Uzodinjo of the Supreme Court governor of Imo State. You see, there's something about foolish people. They are always very confident. Do you see how he's trying to make a sense out of nothing? Nothing substantial said other than, I love this country. My best friend is a Fulani. His best friend is a Fulani. So if he has his own country, does that mean that he can't still have a best friend who is a Fulani? I'm a Yoruba man. Can I not have a friend who is a best friend who is Scottish? Can I not have a friend who my best friend to be American? I love it. He became a unity beggar. That's one thing about foolish people. They are very confident. While intelligent people are always in doubt. You see, intelligent people will be like, they will think about something, and then they will be like, what if? They will think about the pros, the cons. When they weigh the cons and the pros, they are like, they will be in doubt. But you see foolish people. If you tell foolish people that, you see this white handkerchief, this handkerchief, this white, what have you? It's not so white, but as you see it now, it's actually black. Close your eyes. What do you see? I see black. When you open your eyes, you're going to see white. But what do you see? White, black. Until you will say, wait. It's like I'm seeing black. Oh. It's true. Then the foolish person will go out and say, listen. Some of you don't know what you are talking about. Professor this did the research, and you see, yes, it looks like white. But listen, we should just all try and support Professor Bokwari. You see, it's not just white. What if there is black under, and some of you may not see it? But listen, we should just know that, you see, it's not always black. Say, but Baba, this one are white now. You see, I understand. I'm not saying it's not white. I'm just saying if you think again, like if you look at it from another way. Right? Like, you see, are you saying the professor that told us that? I say, Baba, why are you stressing yourself? This thing now white. Why are you stressing yourself? Until you will be tired, because foolish people are so confident. They will start telling you, what about the one that was posted by Apostle Paul? That one too is white. I say, Baba, that one are black. I said, that's what I'm saying. It can be black too. I said, Baba, no confuse us. This thing now black. We are talking about this one now white. That's how much I studied the foolish people. And intelligent people are always like, you see, if an intelligent person says, can't we just all use our phones and register to vote? And then INEC will receive the detail, and then they will send our voters card, just like that. You don't have to go and queue anywhere. You don't have to go and do any, you know what I mean? And then you can do that. Just as simple. Why can't we do that? We have a fingerprint on our phones, biometric. Some of you who use smartphones. Why can't you use that same one and register people to be able to vote, and no wahala, give them their voters card within 2 weeks? Intelligent person will be like, but what if there is no internet in some areas? What are we going to try and do? Is that not going to affect it? So intelligent person will be like, try to research. What's the alternative we can use where there is no adequate? You know what I mean? Or you see the foolish person say, no, you cannot do it. It's all rubbish. Forget it. It's not possible. Nigeria has no network. Forget it. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That's how foolish people speak. And if you look at the Buhari idiots, if you look at the Buhari diderins, they are very, very confident if you look at them. And when you look at why they are confident, you will see Buhari, the most intelligent person in the APC. And if Buhari is the most intelligent, now you can then best imagine the characters that tells you Buhari is the best thing that happened to them since sliced bread. They don't obey their own law. They don't believe in their own law. every criticism is considered as an attack. They blame other people but themselves. They don't blame anyone. I mean, they don't blame themselves for their own judgment, and now they are scared to even leave that power. So the news came out and they said, Tifnumbu is in America. Ade Gator, Ade Pointer, Governor Pointer and Kill, Sonweiku of Lagos, how to quickly try to debunk it. He's the only person who can show you that Tifnumbu is still alive. And in fact, Baba is relaxing. Okay? And let me tell you something. You may not imagine it, right? If you see how joyful the Lagos Abobakus have been all day. And according to them, because everything is competition to them, right? According to them, Tifnumbu is becoming more popular. Jagabandit is their Oko Yawon. Even the Ade Gator. See, let me check. Is there any gators on the trouser, by the way? I said don't change the guy dress now. They've told him not to put gator anymore. The person will go put gator for jeans. Not bad. It's just a fashion statement. That's why they call him Ade Gator. Point and kill. He met with Tifnumbu and he is still pointing. He's pointing. Right? So Tifnumbu is alive. Even Sonweiku was so shocked to hear the news that they said somebody said Tifnumbu don't kick bucket. He's there. But look at that man. That's the person, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the unboot slaves, obedient fools, sophisticated morons are trying to bring up to represent this one, Bokwari. Remember him?
Livestock.
Huh?
Livestock.
National livestock.
I will talk about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't. I think it's he doesn't know.
These are all directed at Mr. President. So corruption, yes, let me know. He can talk for himself.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I want Nigerians to give you another opportunity to do another 4 years. Why?
Well, I
He doesn't know.
I think
It doesn't know. Guess what? That would be like a Bokwari 2.2 when you bring Tifnumbu Jagabandit. It's your choice, oh. Me, I tell you, na Glasgow at the leave, and I'm trying to work on my black tax now. Anyway, some people have said, Maiyegun, tell your viewers to stop giving money to random people anymore. When people message you randomly, sir, I have been following you, ma. Please help me, ma. I'm hungry, ma. And all of these messages, right? Some people said we should stop doing it. They are called black taxes. Some of you who live abroad, who live in the UK and all over the world, right? You don't know that all this money we give back into Nigeria, either to random people, to support people here and there. They are called black taxes. After paying all the taxes from what you earn, from where you live, you still have to pay the Nigerian taxes to family members, to friends, relatives, this, that, and those who have now joined the Urgent 2K gang on social media, Urgent 5K gang on social media. So these people are called black taxes. You pay them, but there's no record for them, and you keep paying them. And the more you pay, the poorer you become, the more you'll be struggling with your finances. I'm beginning to put my own finances together now so that I can ward off all the black taxes on my money. You know why? Those who are in Nigeria, especially when the Buhari idiots, the Buhari didderings, when they want to talk and they say, why don't you come back home and do it? Why don't you come back here and blah, 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 blah. What they are saying is that, why don't you come back here and join us in this contraption so that we can all be here? It's not because they want you to come and change it, because they are waiting to take their turns. They are worse than those who are punishing them as we speak. But people like us are still pretty much sending back money. I'm talking about billions of dollars. Imagine, $33 billion. $40 billion annually. That is why in southern Nigeria, you still see some families, some members, some community, you see some communities still surviving because they have somebody somewhere who is taking care of what Nigeria has taken away from them. The opportunities and the opportunities taken away from them, the limitation placed on their path, and they have somebody somewhere who is footing the bill every now and then. And that's why they have not joined or been on the street or, in fact, become homeless themselves. These parts are more in southern Nigeria. And imagine 33 billion in Nigerian economy. Take that out and imagine what that would be. Venezuela will be thanking God every Sunday that they are not Nigeria, if that should happen in a way. Now, those of us who are not living in Nigeria, I am not interested in Nigerian politics. But if you ask me about politics, as Maiyegun general, of Maiyegun's diary Politico, I am 100% interested in Yoruba politics, the politics of representation, the politics that gives control to the Yorubas in Yoruba land. That is something that people like us, will indeed support, come back home, promote and support and develop our land, not when Yoruba land is still part of Nigeria, an arrangement that makes us a beggarly people, and a beggarly arrangement that turned us to beggars every month, looking for allocation every month, or borrowers, people who borrow and borrow and borrow the future of their generation, of their children. You know what I mean? So that is why many of us, apart from making monetary contribution to that economy in Nigeria, directly and indirectly, to keep your economy floating, managing a bit to what it is right now, while your criminal politicians are looting the money, taking the billions they are gaining from your taxes, they are selling from your crude oil and every other thing, taking all these billions out of Nigeria, we are sending money back into that economy to keep some people, to keep some family, at least safe at night. Keep their bellies filled with food at night. Keep some children in school at least every day. And at the same time, keep proof on the on the heads of so many millions of people in southern Nigeria. Now, we can do it on our own if we don't have to be responsible for Nigeria. How? That is why many of us are interested in discussing the referendum, discussing, an autonomy, a breakaway autonomy that will involve the people, where people will decide if they want to live or not. We all know that it is a universal right when people want to decide. Self-determination is a universal right, except when it gets to Nigeria or it gets to any part of Africa. As you have it, it turns to war, where millions of people are massacred and killed just to keep an unholy alliance together. So many of us could have probably, come back to Yoruba land in a way, in an arrangement that allows the Yoruba to decide our own fate by all standard, generate our own money, use our own resources for our own people, make our own laws, and in fact, protect ourselves by ourselves, not by any other person or any third party from anywhere. You get what I mean? People like us would have returned, promote Yoruba and all that. How? If Nigeria was to be a country, do you know that it won't be a hard thing to set up a Yoruba nationalist party? And as an average Yoruba man and woman, it will be easier for you to know that Yoruba Nationalist Party is for the Yoruba nation. So if they take over control of all the Yoruba land, they will ask for the breakaway of Nigeria. So as a Yoruba man or woman, if that is allowed, won't you be able to just join that and promote Yoruba nation, promote people that will indeed fight for Yoruba nation, make laws, change it, and fight for everything that will give the Yoruba independence? If Nigeria is a country, right? Don't you think the IPOB, the Biafrans, they will set up their own political party called the Biafra Nationalist Party, that all the Biafrans will be bold enough to join legitimately, and you will know that everybody in Biafra Nationalist Party, they are for, they are for self-determination, they are for Biafra Republic. So if you vote them to be governors, if you vote them to be senators, if you vote them to be lawmakers or anything at all, and they control the entire Eastern Nigeria, they can wake up one morning and declare a resolution and declare a breakaway from Nigeria. You know why? They will be in charge of their own destiny. That is how a country should be, like the United Kingdom. But that is not how Nigeria is. That is why the Fulanis the Fulani terrorists have declared war on the rest of all the nationalities in Nigeria for asking for that conversation. That kicked people like us out. We are not going to involve in your dirty, criminal, murderous, bloody politics just to show that we love Yoruba land. What we are saying is this: if they fail to do the right thing, if they continue to ignore the wish and the request of those who have now become stakeholders in what has become today's Nigeria project, many of us, the diasporans and the young people. If they continue to ignore that, something is going to happen. They cannot twist everyone for so long, or for too long, or forever, because a revolution that will change all of that is so close, so near, that they are so blind, they are not seeing it. But it's so close and it's so near. I'm going to open the line at some point to listen to many of you who want to call in and say hi, and then add your own voice too. But before I do that, if you are watching me on YouTube right now, take a minute, right, to subscribe onto that channel if you are watching for the first time. And you can also give me that thumb up under that video. It is called engagement. That will let many other people who are likely not going to watch us live now to come across the video. It is free content. Let them listen to the message. All right. Meanwhile, Barrister Dele Parotimi has something to add before I start taking the calls. Listen.
The question is, where do you begin restructuring Nigeria? But the truth is, we might have even missed the restructuring train if we are not careful.
Wow.
Pastor Adefarasi is not a man unknown to me. I once attended that church, and he's a merchant of hope. Like all pastors, they deal in hope. Christianity itself is about hope. But when you hear one of the most hopeful merchants of the gospel in Nigeria begin to speak of a plan B, you then realize just how hopeless our situation has become. That is on one hand. And then you hear the asininity of some people who should know better, imagining that a change of personnel might possibly save Nigeria. No man, no single man, or even a group of men, without changing our current structure, can change Nigeria. The problem with Nigeria are foundational. The problems, they are foundational. We are not citizens in our own country. We've talked about this before. But the most dangerous part of our situation is that we are not a country governed by laws. We do not have rulers who believe themselves bound by the laws. They themselves have placed themselves above the law. The law appears to be what the occupant of Aso Rock says it is at any point in time. And that is suggestive of a society that is not anchored by law. We can talk restructuring, but we also must remember that within the same system where we are seeking a restructuring, there exists dates such as the 20th of October, and there still exists vast number of Nigerians who have bought into the lie that nothing happened on that day. And yet some of us continue to hope and believe that we can somehow prevent the looming war. Because when someone like Pastor Paul is telling you he has a plan B, and he's talking about how these guys are crazy, there is a lot he has left unsaid, but that we must on our own begin to unpack. In this country, you are having students picked from their classrooms, picked from their dormitories. The government is busy negotiating the freedom of innocent kids with people they have termed bandits when they should be correctly labeled terrorists. But in Imo State, the army is proud to advertise the number of IPOB people whom it had tagged terrorists. And we are all in the same country. Look, the matter of Nigeria structuring is just a byword for me now. It's a byword for as best as we can, a turnaround. Nigeria is going to end up either in a war or it would have to find a peaceful path through a revolution. A revolution simply means a turnaround. It means turnaround. If the path you are taking is unsustainable, it becomes inevitable that anyone with a modicum of brain in their head ought to understand the urgent need to turn around. Why should it be so difficult for people to understand that in this age and time, it is impossible to keep anyone down by force? It is in human nature to demand freedom. It is in human nature to demand equality and justice. The Nigeria that is being built in this age and time is one that appears to be raising back to antediluvian times, the Middle Ages. We are in a place right now where the state has lost control of vast territories.
Oshoni, Ajeni, Elebologun ni, Amaniseni ni, Afaimaniseni ni, wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀.
Àmín.